Oh my goodness, this is wonderful. I am quite amazed of this show. I wasn't expecting to be here. Had a tough time finding a sitter, and I cranked it out, and now I'm here. Um, wow. I'd like to thank True Stories. This is my first time, and I'm not. I don't have anything written. It's just really deep in my heart. It's ingrained, and I get emotional because it's my home. This is my home, and what I'm about to tell you is how this became my home. Uh, my parents came here in 1980, but prior to here, they were natives or traditionally from Laos, which is Southeast Asia. Back in the 70s, there was a lot of bad things going on. And ironically enough, at this time now, still the same thing is going on in my parents' home, in my country. But they left. They had to run away from what they felt was their place and their safety. But they knew that they needed to go and live their lives. So they came here. I'm so nervous, I'm sorry. They came here to run away and to live a better life and to believe in the American dream. So my mom had left young, and it was about 1975 when she crossed the Mekong River. And I don't know if you guys watch this show called River Monsters. I'm so addicted to that show. But Journey, he just is like, oh, I'm gonna catch this huge entire catfish in the Mekong River. And if any of you have seen that, it's a very, very dangerous place. And you have this young woman, 16, 17 years old, running away to save her life, crossing the river into Thailand. My father, on the other hand, at that time, was actually living in the forest, running around. You know, I tell it like that because that's pretty much what it was. He was fighting for his life against communists that was coming over to the country and destroying his home. So, in a way to save his life, he also crossed this huge Mekong River. About 1979, my parents decided to seek refuge at a refugee camp in Wanatong in Thailand. Thousands and thousands of people, you know. Out of all these people, one man and one woman decided to sneak out the camp to seek refuge. And as they did that, and staying there, not knowing where or what was gonna become of their life, they just waited. Met people that they knew that ran away too, found family that they were looking for, you know, got shot at. Just things that I couldn't even imagine. I do that on video games, you know. So, of course, they meet and decide to get married at this camp and figure out what are we gonna do now? Where are we going to go? My dad, as a young man, worked on a military base, you know, so worked with a lot of different people. He knew English, so he had some sort of advantage of trying to seek a way to come here safely and on right terms. So he told me a story, and he drilled this into me as a young child because he knew at one point he would not be here. And who was to tell his story if his own kids would not know? I call them ghost memories. Because if they don't stay or aren't told, one day my children will be, Mommy, how did we get here? Or what about Grandpa? What about Grandma? Everybody has a story. I need to tell my father's, I need to tell mine to my kids. So he decides to seek help, and there's these people that assist at these refugee camps. And there was a representative there, or a United States representative there, telling these people this is how you would need to seek help with refuge in our country. A lot of people were scared, but my dad found his way, worked and helped, and because of that, they helped him. He told me there's this man by the name of John Tiger, and the English wasn't really good yet with my dad, but he asked my dad if he liked corn. He didn't know what corn was. He's like, rice? He's like, no, corn. So he told him that when you go to interview on your second round, because there's 3 rounds that you had to go in this refugee camp, you had to do an interview for them to make sure that your family is your family, you say who you say you are. This is how this was done then. And selected and go to the next interview process, and then if that was approved, then they would move on and they go bring them home. And Mr. John Tiger told my dad that when they ask you where you want to go, he said, tell them you like corn. He did not know what this meant. My dad did not know, and he relied on Mr. John Tiger to tell him, okay, I like corn. And he did. Every day, my parents went down to this bay where this water was, and posted would be your name, your number, your family. And we'll tell you if you pass on these interviews. And the day that they went to the green board, second round, Dad was to say, I like corn. And he did. Not knowing what would happen. And coming to Nebraska and having this wonderful sponsor family ready to take a family of 11. My father did not know these people. He only knew Mr. John Tiger and corn. But he did what he had to do to get the help that he needed. And in open arms, this family in Omaha called the Hill family, Papa Frank Hill and Mama Hill taught us how to eat corn. And they arrived in 1980. I was born in September. My father got lost looking for work and stranded somehow out to Beatrice, Nebraska, where he was looking for Grand Island. I don't know what happened. But he found Stork. Then he found Neapco. Then he found a home. He had 3 beautiful kids, raised a family, taught me well, taught me values, taught me my life and my culture, my traditions, my new traditions. Hustlers. This is my home. This is my father's home. This will be my family's home, even though they are away. But my dad loves it here, and so do I. And that's how we came here. This is all I have.